Breaking news. The news is fake. It is not free and fair. We are not selecting our politicians. Billionaires are choosing our politicians for us and controlling the media, and I'll prove all of this right now. So look, we all know candidates need positive media exposure if they're going to run a successful campaign in this country. But how can they do that when 90% of the media everybody is seeing is owned by just 6 corporations structured by billionaire shareholders? I mean, think about it. That's 1,500 newspapers, 1,100 magazines, 9,000 radio stations, 1,500 TV stations, and 2,400 publishers, all owned and controlled by 6 extremely wealthy corporations ruled by billionaires? Now think about this. All of the radio stations, newspapers, media groups, they're all systematically influenced by corporate-funded think tanks like the Heritage Foundation and others who get millions of dollars from billionaires and rich people to provide all these media groups with talking points that are extremely biased towards billionaires and capitalism. And this essentially just structures and reinforces the acceptable range of debates and ideas that the mainstream media will engage in, which is known as the Overton window, which is why our national dialogue is always centered around regressive, pro-capitalist talking points. Positive dialogue never happens outside of the box, the Overton window. This is why people in general who go against US imperialism, capitalism, the billionaires, or their investments or wars get smeared, sidelined, and mocked by the media platforms because they don't want honest pro-working class candidates gaining positive media exposure and winning elections. This is why Elon Musk bought Twitter and why Larry Ellison bought TikTok. They're trying to prevent people like AOC and Mamdani from winning future elections who don't align with their interest. You see, because they control the news, the media, the spread of information, they can essentially control the narrative and shape the minds and opinions of 340 million people in this country, which is literally their first line of defense in defending their class interests. Their second line of defense is their two-party duopoly. And I say their two-party duopoly because Democrats and Republicans are not parties of the working class. I mean, yes, Democrats and Republicans have their conflicts and cultural disagreements, but they're both aligned with the transnationalist capitalist order. I mean, they're both financed by them, by the same people, and propped up by media outlets that are financed by billionaires. This is why Democrats and Republicans both have a strong alliance in defending billionaires, capitalism, and our imperialist foreign policy. So can't you see it? If the media and the politicians are being funded to power by billionaires, essentially all we have is a one-party dictatorship of capitalists. The Democrats and Republicans are two competing factions of the same party, fighting over cultural values and identity politics. Essentially, they're no different than each other economically. They're the same party. Now, people like to say things like voting in third-party candidates would change or challenge this order. But how when Democrats and Republicans control the redistricting process in every state? They literally draw then redraw the district lines in every election to change the outcome of elections. And they do this to maximize their electoral advantage to prevent third-party candidates from winning in the first place. It's called gerrymandering, and both parties gerrymander to maintain control over states they already hold power in. Democrats and Republicans both have bureaucratic bylaws in place that keep third-party candidates off of ballots to prevent their chances of winning as well. So yeah, I mean, we could most certainly help candidates break through the media wall with positive mass grassroots support, but if they run as an independent, they'll almost certainly lose because of all of this. Which means if candidates break through the media wall, they'll have to run as a Democrat or Republican. And if they win, they'll be silenced by a chamber full of politicians who owe their seats to billionaires anyways. And this essentially means that billionaires are the gatekeepers of political power in this country. They control this country. And this is the crazy part. We're talking less than 1%. Billionaires don't even make up 1% of our population, yet they control the media and all the political institutions throughout this country. Think about how crazy that is. We're talking maybe 200 people versus 345 million spread out all across this country who have families, who work their whole lives here, who call this place home. And you got 200 rich dudes that rule over everybody. Think about how crazy that is. There is nothing more important politically than this right now. Nothing at all. I can almost guarantee that everything that is happening outside of this country that you hate is almost directly because of money in politics. Money in politics affects pretty much every single aspect of our lives and our future and the lives and futures of millions of people all over the world. And the only thing that would fix all of this is a massive movement of ordinary people determined to push a full ban on money in politics completely. by any and all means necessary. Elections need to be publicly funded only. There needs to be no room for compromise on this at all. Full ban on money in politics. Any financial donations to politicians needs to be deserving of a jail cell with no bond, and this needs to be pushed on the local level, the state level, and the federal level. This is the only thing that would strip political power away from the billionaires. So by any and all means necessary, this needs to happen. The secondary goal that needs to happen is we all have to help build a massive pro-working class media machine to smear, challenge, and replace the billionaire-funded media groups that are brainwashing workers against their own class interests. And to do this, we need to convince people to stop listening to billionaire-funded propaganda like Fox News, CNN, ABC, and the others. We need to be directing people towards pro-working class programs like Breakthrough News, The Real News Network, Democracy Now!, and others. And we all need to continue spreading class-conscious messages throughout social media to continue spreading class consciousness throughout this country. Because if we don't continue to do these things, the billionaires will continue to cement their power into the media and the government. And we will be severely cooked if we allow that to continue happening. So lock in, because if there is any revolutionary goal to be achieved in the near future, let it be this at the bare minimum. Money in politics literally affects everything.